Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a Cyber Weekend prep type video. I may do a couple more like this at some point, one in October, one in November, especially as we build to the 25th of November when Cyber Weekend, the spectacular weekend, is indeed going to drop. Now this video is kind of a response to something that was advice that was given out to another player. And this particular advice was all about you have to have 27,000 units in order to get the best out of Cyber Weekend. Now, there's some truth to that, but there's also a lot of incorrect kind of advice when it comes to that as well. As a lot of you know, as you can see on screen right now, I have 17,270 units, and I am planning to build up at least 18,000. Well, I'm trying to push to about 21,000 units by Cyber Weekend dropping. Cyber Weekend deals 2021 had a different type of narrative to them. They've been different. This was the first year they were different because they had this, you had to go 1,000 bundle, various different types of bundles, but you had to kind of like get 5,000 units to access to the greater. So you had to get like the advanced summoner bundles to the value of 5,000 units, which then allowed you to get one of the greater summoner bundles for 5,000 units, and basically meant by 10,000 units you could access some rank 4 6-star materials. Now, July 4th deals, which really annoyed me because I tried to predict something that was kind of fair to that particular scheme, it kind of ruined it, and it ruined it in a big way. A lot of content creators kind of differed in their opinion, and my personal opinion was I thought the deals were terrible. I thought they were terrible for Paragon, and I thought they were good for Thronebreaker, especially if you are looking to go from Thronebreaker to Paragon. And Paragon players for the very first time were seeing these particular deals. And if you looked at the comparisons, and this is the thing that I think differed from my coverage to other content creators, I'm not going to out anybody, but like my opinion on the matter goes by the facts. And the facts is you had to spend 18,000 units to get rank 4 materials. And it wasn't even rank 4 materials, it was just a straight rank 3 to rank 4 gem. Yes, you might say, well, that's a rank 3 to rank 4 gem. Rich, and I agree, but the fact is you had to do 18k in order to get there. For a lot of players in comparison to Thronebreaker, only had to spend 15k to get rank 4 materials, which again is a little bit worse than what it was for Thronebreaker in Cyber Weekend deals 2021 because you had to spend 10,000. So there's a little bit of a kind of a difference there on the jump up in order to access rank 4 materials for your 6 stars. But in any case, back to the point of the video, and the point will be, do you need to get, or do you have to have 27,000 units? And the answer is, yes, you get all the deals, you can buy all the deals in Cyber Weekend, which you saw in 2021. Yeah, as you can see, you can add them up. It's 27,000 by buying all of them, especially, you get some stuff. But it's down to player choice. Player choice always becomes a bit of an issue, especially if you're Brian Grant, for example. Like last year in this particular video, he said like, well, I'm going to hold on to my units. I haven't made up like a decision about what's going on with it. And yeah, held off on it, and people got a bit funny about that, especially if being like, quite an extensive unit grinder in Arena. So yeah, I guess you can't do stuff as a player. Yes, it's odd if you have a load of units and like, well, you're not getting the deals. But there may be some other things that the player wants to do. And that point really rings true as to what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve out of Cyber Weekend? If you want to get yourself rank 4 6-star materials, then you might have to have 21,000 units. Maybe. Maybe if you're a Thronebreaker, you might have to have a bit less. Or maybe if you are, Paragon, you're wanting more from these deals. Now, normally when it comes to Cyber Weekends or July 4th deals or these particular scenarios, it's going to be down to the player as to where they're at in the game, what they want. And as we said, what you want is going to be important. So it's either going to be progression, or it's going to be champions, or it's going to be rank ups. Now, yes, it could be a case of like, oh, you want to get your roster expanded for things like a Arena, you want a certain champion as a counter for alliance-based stuff, AQ, AW, or it could be something that you're trying to prep a team for Battlegrounds. There's so many different reasons as to like what you want, and that will be down to you as a player. So one of the main things you would have on your job list could be to get a specific type of champion, to be a counter in Alliance Wars, to be a champion to use in Battlegrounds, to be a champion you want to use in general in side quests, in main quests, in whatever, a champion that's going to be seeing you through story quests. There's so many different options there of champions to look out for. So, what is important about acquisition? This is the first thing to mention. And that's going to be getting these specific champions to complete areas in your roster that you want to facilitate. So you will get the 2021. We got it in the July 4th deals, and that was for 2021 champions. Also, Paragon got 2020. We're going to talk about that in a second. But also last year, it was 18,000 units on the Cyber Weekend deals to get a 2020 specific champion. Now, from 2021, there's a lot of amazing champions. Now, I'm not kind of like being biased. I'm just going to throw out names. But Anti-Venom was a great champion. A lot of people liked him. Null. Craven was pretty cool. Hercules, of course. Penny Parker, of course. Kitty Pryde, of course. Nimrod, of course. Spider-Man 2099, Overseer. The list goes on. The champions that players wanted to get from 2021. 2022 is very equally desirable, but we won't have that as an option in a Nexus Selector until next year, unless Kabam puts something out all kind of weird and spooky like. But let's face it, look, here's the facts. So, July 4th deals, 2022, did have an access point at 15,000 units. So at 15,000 units, you were able to pick up a Nexus from 2021, or in some cases, in Paragon, you were able to get the 2020 and 2021. So there was 2 years worth of kind of like grabbing that one of each you could choose, which is great for God tiers. You get like 2 God tiers, and yeah, 15,000 there for the one in Thronebreaker. Now comparing that with Cyber Weekend, different story, ladies and gentlemen. The problem was with July 4th deals versus Cyber Weekend. In Cyber Weekend, you had to spend 18,000 units to access the kind of instant God tier of 2020, as I've put it right there, and that's just like that could be the way that Kabam go with it. Now I hope the Kabam don't and still go with this 15,000 unit narrative. But let's face it, if you want to get Cyber Weekend, a specific champion, a God tier, it's going to change your roster and change maybe who you focus on, maybe even a champion in order to smash out things like get some decent prestige, then you've got to think about 18,000 units in order to access as opposed to the 15,000. So that's one thing completely out of the way. Some of the little deals, again, are down to choosable things that you would want to kind of pad your roster in. So we've done that, champion. Progression's the next thing. Now, briefly touched on the idea of progression. Progression is going to be something that, again, you will need to allocate units to and will depend on what Kabam do when it comes to these deals. July 4th deals and Cyber Weekend deals, depending if Kabam follow what they did in 2021 with 2022, will be both very different as to your access point to get these particular items. And those particular items will be things like Tier 3 rank 4 materials for those that are Cavalier, Thronebreaker, if you're kind of new to that. And if you're Thronebreaker trying to get to Paragon, it's going to be a case you'll need those rank 4 6-star materials. Now, here's the thing, right? I don't know if Kabam, and look, there's a chance rank 5 materials may be in the Cyber Weekend deals. It is a very small chance, and if Kabam were going to run it, I'm sure they would run just a small amount within it, because it will be the new chase resource. We know Act 8.1, which is going to be out. It's either out by I get this video out. I'm probably on holiday, by the way, when I'm getting this video out. But it will be the chase resource. So it makes more sense that will be in the game a little bit more in the future. I'm talking potentially Cyber Weekend deals and potentially something big when it comes to the spicy festive crystal, unless there's a small amount or unless Kabam decide they're going to wait another year in order to kind of like get that and flush that out in the community. We will still have to see. But I digress, and that's something we'll cover at a later date potentially. Now, with the way that Cyber Weekend deals work differently to July 4th deals, July 4th deals had things like the rank 4 6-star materials in the Greater Summoner bundles. This meant that you had to go through your 5,000 unit spend point in order to access these particular items. And let's face it, that's something that a lot of players, especially for Thronebreaker going to Paragon, would want to see. And for Paragon players, you want to see the value for the units that you're laying down on these. So that's just the thing. Like, you might have to, as a Paragon player, look to put in at least 15,000 units to see back anything that's nice. As I said, different to what July 4th deals are with 18,000 comparison. Or it could be a case that, you might kind of go, right, well, I don't want to get any of these lower items or lower deals that come in, because you might be like, well, I could take or leave like a rank up gem that would be 2 to 3 and some tier 5 class catalyst in option of switching it to maybe getting another of the bundles. So if there's 3 summoner greater bundles, then you could get more value from those versus spending units in the top ones. So the point I'm going to get to is you may not want to buy all of them. Tier 6 class catalysts will be the chase resource. And especially if you're Paragon, then you'll want to be investing your units into it. So that could be what you want to go for. And let's face it, the class catalysts, the tier 6 class catalysts, normally come as a fragment crystal. So again, that will be down to, and let's face it, Command aren't going to put out selectors for these particular things. We'd love them to do that, but more commonly they won't. I hope they do, because then it means that there's more value for your units you're spending in order to get something guaranteed. But from a non-spending standpoint, which I'm going to be doing, and there may not be a huge amount on offer, especially because, let's face it, spending is going to be the key in order to access these particular materials and get that first ever rank 5 6-star champion into your roster if you're Paragon. So let's end this video on this point, right? You don't need to get 27,000 units for this particular event. Maybe you would want to get 21,000, or maybe you want to just still stay on 18,000, or maybe you don't actually want to get up to 18,000 and will just stick with your 10,000, maybe even a lot less than that. It's up to the player, so you watching this video, what you choose from Cyber Weekend. You may want to dip your toes a little bit into some of the lower rewards that kind of come with Cyber Weekend, which if Kabam, as I said, if they roll out the same deal process that they did last time, then you can scoop up some little things right here and it can be relatively good for you. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to get some of the more spicier things within the game. That's normally reserved for the 5,000, 10,000s and stuff like that. But you can get something. You may as well kind of look at the situation of what we've talked about with the wintertime holiday kind of special crystal, where there's going to be something similar to the Great Gifting Crystal, and let's face it, that's RNG. So look, that's fine. If you want definite rewards without having to go RNG, then you do that. If you want to be just having a little bit of a go when they come out, hey, it's up to you what you want to do with it. But there could be some special deals that come out that you may want to, save some units back for. You also might want to make a dent in next year and go, okay, well, July 4th deals were different. And how were they different? You did need a lot more units to guarantee yourself something good. You would have to spend 18,000 units, but you got something different. So you may want to start saving. You may also want to invest in some content. There may be some content that's kind of come out that you might go, right, well, I'll take those units. Not interested in the holiday thing that's coming out, holiday crystal. Not interested in something else. Not interested in July 4th deals at the moment. But I am interested in maybe something that drops at random, and I may be close to a progression title, getting a certain champion guaranteed, or something else. Also, do bear in mind that preparation now is important, because we've had things like EOP. EOP, so Paternity of Pain, is about to enter. It will have its, I think, last run coming close to the end of the year, so end of 2022. So which will be, if I hazard a guess, something like EOP 4. If I've got that right, it should be like EOP 4, because we're just about to have end EOP 3. So EOP 4 will then see you into the latter point of the year. There may be one other, don't know. But look at that as well. Like, if you are close to going from Thronebreaker to Paragon, then why would you spend a lot of units in Cyber Weekend deals if you could get it for free via EOP? Reinvest the units that way, or don't invest the units and just grind loads of revives and health potions. Again, down to personal preference on that. But there's loads of savvy ways in order to not spend 27,000 units, and even the top end of things as well. So consider that as an option with it. But yeah, to answer this particular question, which I thought was interesting to go over, you don't need 27,000 units, because it won't always fit what you want to get in your span in Marvel Contest and what you're chasing. So chase what you think is going to be good for you as a player, whether or not it's some of the stuff in the structure and July 4th deals, which had a bigger unit cap as to get some of the chase resource, or it's some of the lower chase resource items which, were kind of like skimming at the 1,000, 2,000 and, small 5,000 mark. But there we go. That has been the video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this interested people. I will put a link to this spreadsheet in the description down below. I will be referring back to this particular spreadsheet in a predictions video, which will be in October time. The reason I'm holding off on it, or maybe I'll do it in November, is I want to see what happens with rank 5 materials. Rank 5 6-star materials are meta. So that meta shift and that chase reward is going to shake up the boundaries of what these particular deals are going to be like, because they may have some spicy stuff in. We'll have to see. But that's been a video. Thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video whenever that'll be. Cheers. Bye-bye.